Hey there, thanks so much for joining me. Right now we're going to check out a preview of an upcoming platform currently under construction that has the potential to help out a lot of people, the environment, and nearly any other issue you can think of someday. In simplest of terms, it's a framework for a Cascadian Economic Direct Democracy. It currently goes by the name of YourCascadia, or Arcadia for short, but being as the platform is 100% democratic though, every detail, even down to the name itself, is up for debate. In the next 12 minutes or so, I'll introduce you to this new class of platforms and explain the purpose of them, and then we'll explore some key benefits that it can eventually provide for you and your community. The primary question that this revolves around is, how can we make a better decision-making system for society? As members of society, we make small but important decisions every single day, whether that's in the form of how we shop or how we voice our thoughts to others on things that we care about, but all of our decisions add up to make the world the way it is. This collectively manifests itself through two primary ways: economic and governmental systems. Our present economic systems incentivize unsustainable, perpetual growth at the expense of most people and the environment. On the other side, our governmental representatives are often clearly catering to the interests of larger economic players, and rarely do we as people get to voice our opinions on issues that matter to us in any meaningful way. So the goal of this platform, then, is to build a Cascadian Economic Direct Democracy, a parallel economic overlay that is under the complete direct democratic control of local community members via intuitively recognizable systems of organization. It aims to empower every person to sustainably exchange goods and services, drastically increase personal income, fund new jobs and needed causes, have an equal voice in their locality, and make educated, horizontal, community-based decisions with a transparent, secure, and ever-improving open-source platform. What kind of platform specifically? Well, that question is really one for each of us to keep asking ourselves year after year. We should constantly be trying to improve whatever system we have and optimize to make it as evenly democratic and economically sustainable as possible. So please bear in mind as we go over everything now, the real platform will be built to change according to the wishes of each community that it serves. And what you see here is just an initial mock-up to demonstrate a few potential features and get things moving. If something here doesn't jive with you, you are encouraged to voice your concerns and propose alternative methods, which people can vote on using the platform itself. So anyway, here's our main man Barry's homepage, which is fully customizable. In the top navigation here we have our economic and democratic halves of the site, labeled Exchange and Conduct. The blue area over here is Barry's personal profile data. The white section is for various community modules, and the part on the right here is a news feed to keep him up to date with his community. You'll notice in addition to Barry's basic profile info here, he's got various tools and settings, a list of his achieved badges, progress bars, and a listing of the items and services he needs along with the ones that he's offering. Now let's go over some of the primary benefits that this can give people. First, you may have noticed this token meter here. In this system, a universal basic income is given to Barry and every member who actively participates in the community, and it consists of a mixture of dollars and crypto tokens of equal value. In the process of exchanging and participating in this system, a growing excess of commonwealth is created, which the community decides on how to spend. If you click on this community budgeting tool here in the middle, click, it brings you to Barry's personal little voting donut. Here he can decide how he'd like to see his community's excess funds distributed down to whatever level of detail he desires. So for example, here he wants 4.2% of his city's budget to go towards art programs, and then he's chosen to split that 4.2% between 5 programs of his particular interest. When all is said and done, his donut is put in a big box with all the other people's donuts, and then it's averaged out to find the actual budget that will be spent on nonprofit causes and new jobs and gigs that each community needs. This is also intended as a way for people to trade goods and services more easily, quickly, and responsibly. So by clicking the exchange button, they can see matches to things they need. By default, it picks the people with exchanges nearest to you, as well as the ones with higher responsibility scores. These scores are generated by pulling in ratings from existing agencies and they favor smaller and more responsible local businesses and individuals, as well as larger businesses if they have a good score. If you click on an item, you can see the details of said item. Pretty standard, really, as far as online shopping goes. What's less standard, though, is this being on a decentralized network that is owned by you just as much as it's owned by everyone else. Meaning, you and your group may decide to allow for direct bartering, lending, or alternative currencies to be used as well. You can see who some of those other people are by going to their profiles, like so. Click. Here's Carrie's profile. Barry can see her basic info and other items and services that match with the ones that he is looking for. She may choose to disclose as much information as she desires to her friends and extended community, including certain values and beliefs that she holds, which are up in this icon. If Barry finds her views compelling, he may choose to have her represent him on certain issues that he does not have the expertise or the interest in. He can explore the democratic half of the site as well by clicking on this conduct button up here. Here's an example of what the community debate tool can look like. It stores arguments and votes for each in a structured wiki tree database, and it groups topics in branches of issues, their solutions, the premises behind those solutions, and the facts and sources to support those premises. Here, Barry is looking at the issue of fire damage in his region, and one of the solutions is replanting efforts. There is a breakdown of each solution currently available and how much financial and ideological support it gets, as well as Barry's opinions towards each solution in the form of a 1 to 5 emoji scale. In this case, the solutions to fire damage are these nonprofit organizations getting more financial support for replanting trees, but this tool can also be used to debate any issue at all, really, by analyzing everything in concise, discrete chunks. Arguments can be checked and tagged with logical fallacies or biases along the way, and also help to make recommendations to people based on their voting history and value preferences. You can also click on nearly any stat or topic like this to get predictive tools with summaries, and those can help give members the ability to make informed decisions on any relevant topics with data. Even meta issues about the platform itself can be debated on a branch of the wiki tree. So here's this other branch, and people can decide how to scale their communities together and which additional features and modifications they would like to see over time. In this way, the community gamifies itself, giving rewards to vote on and earn for its members as it grows. If enough people start to diverge on issues, they may also choose to start a new branch of their own with slightly altered rules. For example, one community may decide to vote for a rotating admin team to make minor, non-controversial decisions. Another group might opt to make a judicial team decided by a random lot to mediate disputes between members. Both of these groups can retain cross-community compatibility between them, but essentially 2 or more cultural rule sets can be experimented with at a time, and then reality and natural selection can decide which rules stick, and future communities can absorb the best traits and continually improve themselves. You can start an initiative like this about pretty much any idea you have and see how your community likes it. The third design branch to optimize for, other than making a fair democracy and responsible economy, is making an enjoyable and intuitive experience with clear goals that members can accomplish. In addition to the community achievements that unlock new features for all, there's also a vast number of objectives that Barry can complete, earning him rewards like upgrades, new abilities, and even frivolous things like custom skins and minigames. It can be whatever cool bonuses people can dream up, as long as everything stays fair for each member. So here we are back on his homepage, and we can use these arrows here to expand his view, and also once more. So now here's all of his community modules laid out together, and he can expand any one of them to full width as well, like so. This is a full view of the wiki tree branch from earlier, and we can see the details easily by clicking around. And that's about as concisely as I can put the main idea behind this. I left out a lot of detail for the sake of time, but there will be some supplemental info listed along with this presentation if you want to dig deeper. It's a lot of things, It can be a lot more, it can be a lot less, it can be a lot different in any way imaginable. It's ultimately up to you to decide. It's direct democracy. So now the most important question of all, how can you get involved and help this become a reality? This project is still in the early stages of development. So right now your feedback in any form can help us really nail the initial launch and would be one of the best ways to help. After launch or during pilot trials, simply being an active member is all that's really needed. But other ways to be of assistance in the meantime are by helping with promoting, developing, designing, debating, donating, or nearly anything else that you're into. So please reach out and help us make your Cascadia a reality. Our collaborative revolution starts with you. Thanks so much.